But there were basically four things that people kept asking over and over. So let's do those. And let's start with what's really the least important of the four. But there were a lot of people who were very sweet and kind and concerned about my voice, my throat. That. So just so you know, I am perfectly fine. You do not need to worry at all. Where I live, we are experiencing a really big wildfire. That is not normal for where I live, but there's a lot of smoke in the air. There's ashes falling from the sky. We have filtration systems in the house, but it's just almost impossible to keep it out. And on the other side of that equation, just to be honest with you, I always get a little bit nervous. I know that seems like you wouldn't think so. I am an extrovert, but I do get a tish nervous when I do an event. So that happens too. But other than that, I'm fine. So please don't worry. Number two, a lot of people confused by tarot versus tarot. So let me clear that up for you a little bit. It is purely a regional dialect thing. I was raised in the South. In the South, it's tarot, and that's how I was taught to say it. But since then, I have traveled around the world and back again. I've spoken at well over 100 events. And I have learned that if you say tarot, for example, in Europe or Australia, they have no idea what you are talking about. It is the tarot. And that's also true in certain places in the United States and Canada. So it's potato, potato, tomato, tomato. That's all it is. And it is true. I bounce back and forth because I travel so much and speak to people from so many different places that I'm just trying to make everybody feel good. All right. Next, the next thing that people were really interested about is a topic called reversed cards. And what that basically is, it's when you, here, let's pull Archangel Power Tarot cards here real quick. It's when you're shuffling and you're pulling cards, and it just so happens, that I pull the card with me on it. I did not do that on purpose. It just happened. So anyway, so there's three cards, and let's just say one of them is upside down. That is technically called a reversed card. And reversed cards are a whole science. It's a whole science in and of itself. There's a whole thing to learn. And there are already 78 cards to learn. I generally do not teach reversed cards because then there's 156. And here's what you need to know about reversed cards. If you want to study it, it is a fantastic art. It is a fantastic element of tarot. Please go down that rabbit hole. Go for it. I have never made the time to study it completely or to therefore teach it. Just being honest, right? So a lot of people think that reversed cards, upside down cards just mean the opposite, that if it's a card that means joy, then an upside down card means sadness. It's not that simple, all right? Very often it can mean diminished energy. So the sadness is going away if it's a sad card that's upside down. What I do is I turn the card right side up. But I really do give that card extra attention, extra special focus in the reading. So reversed cards. Next, what was the last thing? Oh, people really wanted to know how to clear their cards, to bless them, to get them ready. We had some people saying, I've got this deck that I found that was my sister's or something. Can I use it? The answer is yes, you absolutely can, but clear your deck, clear your cards. So we're going to be playing a lot today with Angel Wisdom Tarot cards, my deck that is coming out in October. Several of you were like, oh my God, show me more! because you're getting a sneak peek. By taking this webinar, you are getting to see cards that nobody else has seen. So yay, yucky you. So we're going to play with that. So what you would want to do is to bless your cards is just take them out of the box, and then you can hold them in your hand just like this in your non-dominant hand. So the hand you generally do not write with, all right? And then you can do one of two things, especially if you are a Reiki practitioner or a person that's into energy work that way. You can simply go, hold my hands up where you can see them. You can imagine white light coming from above, going through your crown chakra into your hands, and put that white light into the cards. Or you can just go boom and knock that energy out. And then what you want to do is you just want to touch every single card and sort of say, hello, how are you doing? Maybe I should turn this down just a tish. See if that helps. Yeah, that helps. Okay, how you doing? Just touch every single card because you're putting your energy into the cards, all right? And then when you're done with that, just sort of basically take the cards, fold them out in front of you, all right? In front of your heart chakra. And then here's a little prayer that I say. Dear Archangels, Uriel, Haniel, Jeremiah, and Raziel, please bless these cards. Let the readings that I do from these cards be of value, be of purpose, be of meaning. Let them really make a difference in people's lives. Let them be of value. Let me know the words of Spirit so as to convey the words of Spirit in such a way as to enlighten, to inspire, and to heal. Now, if you're thinking, geez, Radley, could you say that faster? Keep in mind, you will have the opportunity to go back and listen to this video again. So for all of the things that I'm going to be talking to you about today, which includes some things that are kind of get a little listy, okay, like a long list of information for you, because this session of the webinar is jam-packed of information. So I suggest you just sit back, chill, enjoy. All right, and then later you can come back for the repeat of the webinar and for the replay, and you can write all this stuff down if the stuff that you want. But also keep in mind that any tarot deck of mine that you buy has a prayer in it, all right, in the guidebook. So if you have a deck of mine, it's got a prayer for blessing in the guidebook, but it is merely a suggested, all right? It's a suggesting. You go after whatever prayer or meditation or blessing that works for you, but that's all you need to do in order to bless the cards, get them all cleared and cleaned up and ready for you to do readings for yourself or for others. Now, because we're going to be doing a lot of work today with a lot of different kinds of magical entities, we're going to start today with a little blessing, all right? We're going to do that first. And if you can, try to stay all the way to the end, because at the end, we're going to do a meditation for connecting with your personal angels, okay? And you're going to want to do that. But if you can't stay, just remember the webinar replays, all right? All right, so here we go. This is just a little blessing that I like to do before I do readings. It creates, I think, a sense of safety and protection because you're working with Archangel Michael as well as others. And so here it is. It's very simple. It's like, dear Archangel Michael, please bless and protect this space, north, south, east, and west, above and below. We ask that you take your beautiful sword of light and run it in front of us, behind us, to the left, to the right, above and below. And we ask that you clear away all energetic connections in this moment for this time that we are spending together. To clear away energetic connections to things that do not serve us, that make us unhappy, that bring us down, And we ask that Archangel Michael, that you clear away that energy so that we can be lifted up, so that we can feel our connection to the divine and to source, to the angels. And we can feel coursing through our system the magic that is our birthright as children of the divine. And we ask Archangel Michael that you wrap us in a ball of sapphire blue light to keep us safe and protected in all ways, in all things, and in all directions of time. And so it is. So that's just a good thing to start with. If you're going to be doing readings for yourself or you're going to be doing readings for other people. All right. So tarot or tarot is a great way for you to connect with angels. And I think it's kind of obvious that I feel that way, since everything that I do, well, not everything, but most everything that I do is what I call angel-based tarot. And so you can, so because of that, because if you work with my decks, it's really easy to connect into that angelic energy when you're working with tarot. For example, Angel Wisdom Tarot cards in particular, because I sort of took the whole angel connection to the next level with this deck. And so here we have the major arcana, and with every single major arcana card, there is one of the 15 primary archangels, and we're going to run through those here in just a second. But also for the pip cards, you can look at the bottom corner and it will tell you, oh my gosh, if you get this card, an archangel that you might want to be working with is ME, Metatron. All right. And the code to those angels is in the guidebook, but it won't take you long to figure that out. You'll get that pretty quick. And so the 15 primary archangels are amazing. Okay. So archangels and guardian angels are not the same thing. This is apples and oranges. All right. Both are creatures of the divine, but it's almost like, let's see, what is it like? It's like saying that school teachers and firemen do the same thing. No. Well, I mean, both are protective, I guess. I mean, we can find a way to make that true, but that's not the basis of it. So archangels are really concerned about the world, okay? They're concerned about you as well, but they're also very concerned about the world. And they are available to the entire world, to everybody there. There's something that is called omnipresent, which means archangels can be in all places at all times at the same time, because time is an illusion. This is a whole thing, okay? A whole thing, all right? That just stay with me here for a second. Time is an illusion, doesn't exist on the other side, doesn't exist with time. And so if we call upon Archangel Michael is able to be with us, to make us feel safe, to make us feel protected at the exact same time that he is helping everybody else. And so you are free and clear and guilt-free and clear to ask Archangel Michael for assistance for anything that you want to ask Archangel Michael's assistance for. You are not taking Michael away from saving Timmy, who's fallen into the well. All right? You are good to go to ask Archangel Michael anything you want to. And you should, kinda. You see, the archangels have specialties, all right? They have specialties. And so you calling Archangel Michael, for example, to help you heal from a disease is a little bit like calling an electrician to fix your plumbing problem, okay? So maybe your electrician's a super cool dude and he's gonna show up and he's going to feel sorry for you. And he'll be like, okay, well, I'll try to help you with this, but this is not my gig. All right. So I'm gonna put on my glasses so I don't skip because I'm gonna try to do this alphabetically. So Ariel is the first archangel alphabetically, and her name means the lioness of God, the lioness of God. And she is the archangel of nature. And because nature is where we get things, it's like we go in and, we might chop down a tree to make a table. All right. So therefore, it links back to Archangel Ariel actually being the archangel of abundance and prosperity. And so Archangel Ariel is who you call first if you want to make sure that your pet is okay. Maybe you're like, Rover isn't feeling well. To your Archangel Ariel, please help Rover feel better. Maybe you are thinking, oh my goodness, I need to manifest a new car. So Ariel is great for that. And as I go through these, keep in mind, I am giving you the briefest little bit, okay? Just a tish. I'm just giving you a taste. So to get you interested, and if you're interested in knowing more about this, well, we've got an opportunity coming for you that we'll be talking more about in the third video, but you've got a chance, if you want it, to learn a lot more about tarot with me, okay? So next is Azrael, whom God helps. And Azrael is like the most elegant, the most compassionate, most amazing archangel, because Azrael is the archangel that you call upon for those who are in sorrow, for people who have experienced a loss, for people who need to heal. All right. Next up, Archangel Chamuel, the eyes of God. So Chamuel is said to see everything. And so if you've lost your car keys, or if you have or if you're looking for the perfect job, see, Chamuel is this fantastic archangel that you can work with. So again, giving you just the tiniest pieces of all of this, all right? Because it's way more than this. Gabriel, the strength of God, is the archangel of creative types, so artists, authors, speakers. Gabriel is also the archangel of helping people with pregnancy issues. Haniel is the grace of God, all right, the grace of God. And Archangel Haniel is one of two archangels that are really focused on your psychic gifts, helping you to develop your spiritual gifts, helping you to get better and better at that. Interestingly enough, the next one is the other archangel that is very interested in your divine gifts. His name is Jeremiel. To me, that energy is almost a brotherly, sisterly kind of thing between Haniel and Jeremiel. So Jeremiel also helps with divine gifts, but he's also helps with life reviews. So if you're in a place where you don't really know where you want your life to go next, you can ask Jeremiel to help you with that. Next up, Jophiel, the beauty of God, helps to lift up our eyes, helps us to see things in a positive way, helps us to release our negativity and to lift up our viewpoint to that is positive and reminds us that we are loved. Metatron is a very famous archangel. Metatron is great for warping time. That's my favorite thing that he does. So if you're late for work and you want to hit every single green traffic light, Metatron. Michael, who we started with, is the archangel that helps us to feel safe and protected, and so that we are not in a place of fear. Raguel is the friend of God, all right? And so he helps us to make friends, all right? But he also smooths out relationships that are currently in a bumpy state, all right? Raphael, whom God heals, is the archangel of physical health for human beings. Who's next? Raziel. Raziel is actually on the cover of Angel Wisdom Tarot cards. It's my first time to put Raziel on the cover. And his his big thing is the secrets of God. So he helps us to understand things that we don't understand. So, and also was great for dream interpretation and past lives. Next is an archangel I really love named Sandalphon. Sandalphon is known a lot for music, but is also the archangel that delivers prayers. He is said to pick up prayers from us and lift them up to heaven and then to bring them back to us. And so if you're feeling like your prayers aren't being heard or aren't being answered, you can ask Sandalphon for assistance. Next up is probably my favorite archangel. His name is Uriel, the light of God. And Uriel is amazing because he gives us brilliant epiphanies that lead to emotional healing, that lead to transforming our lives. And finally is Zadkiel. Zadkiel is great for memory. He's like the ginkgo biloba of the archangel realm, but is also a big archangel for forgiveness. So if you take the time to kind of understand these 15 primary archangels, which you can, by the way, find in my book, How to Be Your Own Genie, or I talk about it in an opportunity that is coming through for a course I'm going to be teaching in way more depth. But you can see how that since the archangels are on these particular cards, if you understand what is going on with that particular archangel, it can help you to create more. I'm just randomly pulling the Empress, all right? And it has Gabriel on it. And so the Empress is a card that talks about figuring out what you have wanted to do and going out there and doing it. I mean, getting it done, creating the opportunities for yourself. It's a very active card. It's a very exciting card. It's a very abundant card. It's where we go make our dreams come true. And so Gabriel's perfect for that because she is the archangel of creativity, but also she's a big motivator. All right, Archangel Gabriel is this archangel that can help motivate you to go get done what you want to do. And so by knowing that, you can work with tarot to help work the archangels into your readings, to help other people or to help yourself from the standpoint of realizing, okay, I get the message and there is archangel help available to me. And this tells me which archangel to be able to go work with. And even, for example, I'm going to see if I see let's see if I can find a card that's got Gabriel on it real quick. Since I just talked about her. Oh, here we go. So this card here is Six of Air, traditionally called Six of Swords. And so it's a card that talks about getting out of the dark place to heading into the light, making changes that are going to really change your life. And so down here at the bottom, we have Gabriel's signature to tell us that Gabriel can help us to make that get done. And so if you pull this card and you realize, yes, that's it, that's exactly what I want. I want to change my life. I want to go from the sad times to the happy times, and I'm ready to do that. Who's going to help me do that? Who are you going to call? Gabriel. All right? So this is how you can weave archangels into your readings and to make the readings when you're working with tarot all the more powerful. Now, don't forget, you have powerful guardian angels that are always with you, always there to help you. And they're your designated angels 24/7. They don't help anybody else. They just help you. And so don't forget that they're there to help you. All right. Now, there are lots of other things that we can blend into tarot from the standpoint of getting assistance from the other side. And so one of those is fairies, okay? So I have a deck called Fairy Tarot Cards that is specifically designated towards working with the fairies. The fairies are great manifestors. And so this is a great deck to work with, and fairies are great to work with from the standpoint of wanting to manifest things in your life. Fairies are also really good for self-confidence. I like to say that this deck helps you to put on your invisible crown and to wear that with confidence and assertiveness, to know that you are ready to go create what you want to create. There's also a fairy element to angel tarot cards. And this is an important point that I want to make too. So the earth suit is all fairies. Okay, so one of the things about angel tarot cards is because the suits, the minor arcana suits, are represented by fairies and unicorns and mermaids and dragons. All right. So here's what you can do. So let's say, for example, that maybe you've got some decks laying around the house. Maybe you've got some oracle card decks. Maybe you have Diana Cooper's dragon deck. Okay, or maybe you've got somebody else. I think, I can't remember her name, but there's a woman who just came out with a fairy deck through Hay House, and I wish I'd looked that up before, so I feel embarrassed. But there, she has a deck out that's fairies. Or maybe you've just got an old deck laying around the house that was based on mermaids or was based on unicorns. Well, one of the things that you can do is you can take these cards out of Angel Tarot cards temporarily and blend them in. You can blend these in with Diana Cooper's Dragons deck, or maybe you've got that fairy deck and you can blend Angel Tarot cards, fairy cards into that fairy deck. And what you've just done is you've taken your oracle card deck and greatly expanded the deck by another 14 cards. And plus, you're also bringing this energy of tarot. You're bringing this energy of 600-year-old mystic, magical energy into that oracle card deck, and to sort of like deepen the messages that are there. So that's another thing that you can do in order to take tarot and blend it with your oracle card decks in order to get more information. So fairies, you can work with fairies in tarot. Another thing that you can do is that you can work with animals. So in tarot is chocked full of animals. All right. And so if you are new to all this, then maybe it's a new concept to you that animals represent divine messages that they bring into our lives. For example, I cannot get away from dragonflies right now. They are everywhere. and I don't think it's just a summer thing. I think it's a message to me that dragonflies are trying to bring into my life. Sorry. And so throughout tarot, there's all kinds of animals. And so what you can do is you can pay attention to that. It can be another element to your reading, another element to the symbolism that is represented there. And there are some really amazing books out there that talk about animal totems and talk about what they symbolize and what they represent. And so if, for example, I'm just going to pull this. Okay, so here we've got, well, there's lots of animals and creatures in this, but one of them, my finger just happens to be right next to a butterfly. Well, butterflies represent evolution and transformation. They're happy changes. I mean, let's face it, when you see a butterfly, it creates all kinds of joy for you. It creates all kinds of happiness for you. So one of the things that you might do, and now I put that butterfly in there on purpose because I see this card as having some of those same attributes, some of those same meanings. And so you can, if your eye happens to be drawn when working with tarot or oracle cards either to something in particular in the card, take some time to look it up. I mean, maybe not if you're doing a reading for somebody, but if you do practice, 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 and you do readings for yourself and you have some time and you look these things up, you'll find this whole other depth of information that is in the tarot cards that you will then have in your head. So here's a quick list. This is not a complete list by any stretch of the imagination, but a quick little list of some of the things that animals mean in tarot cards. So for example, birds. Now, specific birds have specific meanings. So a dove has different symbolism than a raven does, but birds in general represent big ideas and dreams that can soar. Get it? If you put your passion into them. So when you see birds in a card, literally it means, wow, this could really take off. All right. So now cats. Now again, cats have specific meanings. A jaguar has a different meaning than a lion. All right, and even a tabby cat has a different meaning than a Siamese cat. I'm not a big cat person. I'm a dog person, but nevertheless, they do have different meanings. But in general, cats represent independence, a certain unpredictability. All right, and the fact and being unique, being a unique individual. Okay, so I mentioned dogs again. Shelties, don't know why that came into my mind, but Shelties have a different symbolism than golden retrievers. All right, but in general, dogs represent companionship and unconditional love and loyalty and fun. Excuse me. Here's another one. Dolphins. Dolphins represent cooperation and community and confidence, knowing exactly what to do. Okay. Horses are freedom, speed, intelligence, and abundance, and the ability to move on when it's time. Okay. Elephants are loyalty, intelligence, compassion, community, wisdom, and stability. Okay, what's next? Lions, strength, power, courage, self-confidence, and fearlessly going after your dreams. Whereas owls are wisdom and personal knowledge and intuition and feminine insight, patience, and wise planning. Peacocks show up, believe it or not, and so immortality, rejuvenation, royalty, and great power. Tigers are sensuality, leadership, wisdom. Unicorns, especially in my decks, show up all the time. And so they represent manifestation and magic and miracles. They are purity of intention. And so, yeah, definitely adding magic to the readings when they show up. In my decks, there are whales. So communication, confidence, objectivity, wisdom, and deep emotion. Deep emotion. Wolves are in tarot. So spirit, intelligence, ceremony, trustworthiness, and the importance of listening carefully. So that's just scratching the surface a little bit, giving you a feel for it. But when you are working with the cards, you can then, when you see an animal in the cards, you can notice that, oh, wow, that's an animal that is a part of the reading. So I'm just going to look. Oh, well, here we have Gabrielle again, and she has a unicorn that she's holding. my dreamer, that is my dog Jace, okay? When you make your own cards, you can put your own dogs in the cards, okay? So I just want to point that out. Oh, I can use the cover, so I don't have to keep it. Unicorns again for the chair, pulling the chariot. Oh, strength. And my Archangel Ariel with a lion. And so that just gives you a little peek at how you can work with spirit animals in Tarot. Okay, so let's see, what else do I want to talk to you about? Okay, so next up, I want to talk to you about using Tarot specifically to get messages from your angels. Okay, so let's say, for example, I don't want to pick on Gabriel, so let's pick somebody else. So, oh, I know. Well, here's our Michael. Let's use Michael. Okay, people love Michael. So here is Archangel Michael, all right? And so you can take this card, you can pull it out of your tarot deck and lay it on the surface of your table. And then you can say, Dear Archangel Michael, I would very much like a message specifically from you. And so I am asking for you to join me in this reading, in this moment, in this now, and give me a message. And then you can just leave this card laying here and then pull 3 cards. I like to put them beneath. So 1, 2, 3, pull 3 cards and consider that a message from Archangel Michael. And just having the card there sort of like anchors that intention. Now, if you don't have a tarot deck that has the archangels in it, it's okay. You can still just say your little prayer to Archangel Michael and still pull 3 cards. It is not a requirement. I just feel like it strengthens the intention if you happen to have a deck that's got archangels, whether it's by me or anybody, whoever else. So that's a way you can do that. You can also just ask your guardian angels for a message, to say a little prayer and just say, Dear guardian angels, please be with me today in all ways, all things, all directions of time. Let there be no limit to the way in which you can assist me today. I would love to hear your advice today. I would love to get some information from you that will help me in my life here and now and going forward. And then pull 3 cards and see what messages your guardian angels have for you. Now, we can take this a whole other level. There's a thing that I teach in my more advanced courses called significators, okay? And so significators means that you basically take a card out of the deck, and it's a card that represents someone to you. So here's this card totally makes me think of me because it's just goofy. Okay, here, this is my version of the Hanged Man in tarot, and that's just something goofy, silly I would do. And in fact, there's some Easter eggs in here. Those cards falling out of his bag are cards from my other decks. And so we might say that, okay, this is my significator today, all right? But you can create a significator for anybody in your life. Queen of Air / Queen of Swords is my sister and always will be. And it doesn't have to have a tarot symbolic reason. It can if the qualities of the Queen of Air represent your sister to you, they actually do rather represent my sister to me, then that can make her a great significator for you. But honest to gosh, in the very first deck that I ever owned, the woman that represented the Queen of Swords looked like my sister. She just looked like my sister. That was all there was to it. It looked like my sister, and so I chose it. Now, you can do it any way you want, but by creating significators, then when those cards jump out in a reading, you can stop and reflect. Oh, wait a minute, does this have something to do with, in my case, my sister? Or just exactly like I just did, here we'll find the Queen of Swords somewhere in here. Yes. So you can just pull out that card and do it exactly the same way that I told you with Archangel Michael, and just put that card there and then pull 3 cards and say, I would like a message that relates to my sister in one way or another. Now you can do this whether your sister is alive or on the other side. So let's say, for example, that you really would like a message from your grandmother or a message from your mom. Then you can ask tarot to provide you information. I definitely suggest that you ask Archangel Michael to protect you, but you have to keep in, but along those same lines, keep in mind that nothing can get past Archangel Michael. In my viewpoint, period, nothing. So if you are protected by Archangel Michael, just say a prayer beforehand. No one's going to come through that isn't of divine light. And so you can ask, therefore, to get a message from your mom who is on the other side, to find out what she has to say to you at this moment in your life. And so it's just this one other thing you can use with tarot to get messages from spirit guides who are no longer who you may not feel that you are as easily able to communicate with due to the illusion of separation. Okay. All right. So let me think. What am I forgetting? So, and keep in mind, a lot of things that I am telling you about, you can do with oracle cards too. I hope you got to see the webinar 1, and so you got to hear me explain the difference between oracle cards and tarot cards. But just keep in mind that tarot is just a set system of 78 cards. We can find all kinds of different ways to express that, but the messages are still always the same, whereas oracle cards are kind of a free-for-all system, and all kinds of different people can create oracle cards and they can do whatever they want. It isn't necessarily that one is better than the other. Different people feel called to one kind versus the other kind. I'm just trying to convince you to give tarot a try if you haven't, because I feel like the messages can be so much more detail oriented. You can get so much more information out of tarot than out of most oracle card decks. Not all, but a lot of oracle card decks don't have a lot of deep symbolism in the imagery. And so it's not as, it's just a tarot can draw you, because it can draw your eye to so many more things. I mean, just look at all the things going on in the High Priestess. Her dress is turning into water. She's eating a pomegranate. I mean, there's all kinds of things going on in this image that, so it allows your intuition to have more things to grab a hold of, to grab onto, all right? So, yeah. And if things like that really, really, really get you excited and you want to come down that rabbit hole with me, we're going to be talking next in the 3rd and final webinar about your opportunity to be able to do that. Also, if you watch the entry, the first video or the introduction video, then you know I have some homework for you this week. And so this is a totally different kind of homework than we did last week. This week is using tarot to manifest your dreams. Yes, tarot is not just a divination tool, it is also available to you as a way to manifest what you want. So just watch your inbox. You're going to get an email. You're going to get a message that tells you how to go find the video so that you can do that homework and you can experience tarot as a manifesting tool. All right, so I did that. I'm just looking through my notes to make sure I didn't forget to tell you anything. Station angels, right? Okay, great. Okay, so we're kind of like right on schedule now to do a little meditation, okay? And so I'm gonna take my glasses off. So what I want you to do is I want you to try to be in a place that's comfortable. If this is not a good time for this, it's okay. You can just listen along and and come back to the replay of this episode 2 of this webinar. And you can listen to it again. Also, I love music as a part of meditation. We don't have the way to do that today, but that's okay. If you've got some meditation music, you might want to turn it on, or you might want to play it later when you do a replay. Just something soft and quiet underneath, I find really is a powerful enhancer of meditation. But right now, I'm just going to take you through a guided meditation. And what we're going to be asking 2 things. I want you to know what to expect. We're going to be asking your guardian angels to make a connection with you, okay? Today, in the now, during this meditation, or over the coming days. We're also going to ask an archangel to make themselves aware to you. There is a link where you can go pull cards from Angel Tarot Cards, and I think it's in the comments. I know it's in the comments below because I've saw it several times. But that's also another place where you could go pull a card and see if a particular archangel shows up and take that as a message. But even if it doesn't, let's just say, for example, that we do this little meditation, nothing kind of comes to you at the moment, but then you go to the grocery store and there is a young man working there and his name is Raphael. Well, there's your clue, all right? So we're going to take 3 deep breaths, okay? And I'm going to close my eyes because I can't do this with my eyes open. So here we go. And so 1, and then out. And then in, and then out. And then in, and out. And I love to start with Michael. We're going to start with, dear Archangel Michael, please bless and protect this space, north, south, east, and west, above and below. We ask that you provide a sense of safety, a sense of protection, a sense of knowing that all is well and that all will be well. And we ask Archangels Haniel and Jeremiel to join us, because in this moment we want to enhance our spiritual gifts. We want to bump up the connection so that we can see, feel, hear, or know the messages that come to us from our angels fully, completely, and full power in a way that is easy to understand and easy to recognize. And finally, we ask Archangel Gabriel to join us, because she is the archangel of communication. So we are asking that we be able to communicate fully and strongly with our angels. If not in this very moment, then later today or tomorrow or the next day. That we be able to perceive and to see the messages that are brought to us. And with these 4 powerful archangels with us in this moment, we reach out to our guardian angels. We reach out to you and we ask that you join us. We ask that you communicate with us. We ask that you send us a sign that you are with us that you are joining us, whether that sign is a feather or a white butterfly or coins on the ground or a rainbow or the numbers 444. We just ask that you reach out in some way, in some form, to let us know that you are there, that you are here, that you are with us at all times, in all ways. And we'll take just a second just to be quiet in this moment. And if a message drifts into your mind, drifts into your heart, it will feel like pure love. It will not be judging. It will not be unkind. It will not be mean, because angels have no egos. They do not have it within themselves. Angels are pure and complete love. And so take just a moment to allow a message to drift in. Now I want you to turn your attention to the archangels. And I'm just going to go through the archangels quickly with you. And what I want you to pay attention to is when I say a name, does your heart jump with happiness? Do you feel a sense of angelic presence? Do you feel a powerful connection? Do you have a sense of curiosity that is, oh my gosh, I want to know more about that archangel? So as I list the 15 archangels, just pay attention. Where do you have an intellectual or emotional response? Where do you feel something? Do you have a sense of feeling something when I say the name Ariel? Ariel. Or do you have a connection to the name Azrael? Azrael. Shamuel. Shamuel. Gabriel. Gabriel. Haniel. Haniel. Jeremiel. Jeremiel. Jophiel. Jophiel. Metatron. Metatron. Michael. Michael. Raguel. Raguel. Raphael. Raphael. Raziel. Raziel. Sandalphon, Sandalphon, Uriel, Uriel, and Zadkiel, Zadkiel. Now, if you had a sense of connection with any of those archangels, we ask that those archangels reach out to you today, tomorrow, and the coming days to bring a message. I ask that if you do research on that particular archangel, that the information that you find bring joy to your heart and insight to your mind. We ask that those messages be clear, concise, and easy to understand. Open your mind and your heart to the message being something that is right in front of your eyes. And so, with the blessings of the archangels and the blessings of our guardian angels, we open ourselves to the magic of the messages that come from working with our angels, that come from working with tarot, that come from working with the fairies, that come from working with the animals, that come from working with our past over or present loved ones and spirit guides. And so it is. Okay, so like kind of pull yourself, ground yourself, touch the floor, touch the ground, pull yourself back into your body. Don't go drive right now. But stay open to the opportunities. Keep an eye out for, oh, that's Riley, my little girl. Keep an eye out for that email on the homework. You're going to want to do that. And our next webinar, the third one, is on the dreamer's journey. It's talking about walking through the major arcana in the cards and what that means metaphorically for your life and literally how it can help you solve problems. This will be on Tuesday, August 25th, same angel time, same angel channel, 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. Okay, guys, that's it. Can't wait to see you. Leave messages, leave comments. I'm reading those and I'm responding to as many as I can. Just take a peek. You'll see a bunch of questions and answers from me. That's it. Angel blessings. Have a magical week.